when you look at these two indictments, they're separate. There are some defendants that are in both. But as you said, a lot of the charges boil down to the same thing. So, in your mind, or in the mind of the law, rather, what's the more serious indictment? The NBA insider trading or the rigged poker games one?
I think they're both serious in terms of the maximum potential penalties that the defendants who've been charged are facing. I think the NBA illegal betting case has more legs in the sense that it may not be over. There are only 6 people indicted in that case. There were a bunch of unnamed co-conspirators. The NBA has previously investigated Mr. Rozier and others for illegal online gambling and illegal betting. And so there's a question in my mind about whether additional indictments might be coming, whether the NBA may continue to internally investigate or may hire outside counsel to do a review of their investigative tactics and techniques to make sure that they're rooting out, this insider information leaking out in order for individuals to take advantage of it. So, it's all bad. It's all potentially, scary, I think, particularly for the individuals and their families. Those have real consequences. But in terms of, sort of where this is all going to go, I think the illegal betting in the NBA case has more tentacles.
And I think that this raises a lot of questions about what's the future of sports betting in this country because this was described as, like I said earlier, one of the most brazen gambling schemes, illegal gambling
Right.
schemes, since it became widely legal in the United States. A lot of questions raised about the NBA as well. I'm curious, do you think that knowing that paired with Kash Patel, he said he wants to keep our entertainment industry fair and secure. Do you think that the book will be thrown at these defendants to prove a point?
It's hard to say. I mean, anytime you have a famous headlined person in an indictment, I think there are questions about whether the investigations are sound or whether they're trying to make an example out of someone who's a public figure. And some of the comments from the defense attorneys who represent some of the NBA players or the former NBA players in the news media, want to paint that picture. But again, indictments are just allegations of wrongdoing, but they come with a very high threshold of facts. And so the government wouldn't bring this case if they didn't think that they could make it. You wonder whether there may be a reckoning coming. I mean, sports betting has exploded since it was basically made legal in 2018 by Congress after repealing several acts in the past that had prevented online gambling and illegal, gambling at a high level. The scandals of yore, the Pete Rose and the, baseball scandals that we all remember. This feels new and different because again, they were using legal channels, legal betting operations and businesses, legitimate businesses, to do this and carry out their schemes. I think there's going to be a big question looming about how much crackdown are we able to really enforce? Is there an opportunity to ask more questions about regulation? And, as a society, how cozy do we want sports gambling and our major professional sports to be? As a consumer, again, as a fan, if you go to most NBA, games or even NFL stadiums, there are sports gambling facilities on site in many places. And so, FanDuel is everywhere and advertisements are everywhere during games. Do we want that as a society? I mean, it's an opportunity to sort of question, like, is this really the right thing that we want to be doing? I think those are the hard questions that both regulators and commissioners of our big sports teams and our big sports athletic associations are going to have to answer.
These